All right, welcome to the Monday morning Prince Show here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The weekend has come, gone. We're getting down to the nitty gritty as far as bill is concerned. The college football playoffs have started. Division Two playoffs have concluded, and with that, Prairie View A&M University makes their announcement of the latest coach to come and lead the way for the Panthers. Tremaine Jackson named as the next man in heel. He'll come in after losing this Division Two championship game. Lost 49-14. That's neither here nor there. They did make it to the championship. Overall body of work as head football coach for Tremaine Jackson: 40 wins, 12 losses, about a 77 winning percentage. Bringing that to the table. Not a stranger to the Southwestern Athletic Conference. He did play a little while at Texas Southern, hopped around to a couple of schools. He's been on a couple of coaching staffs throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference, so he is familiar with the territory. Will now see if he would be allowed to have, as they say, the training wheels removed. What I do like about this move is not a novice. He does have some head coaching experience. And usually, when you bring a person in who has a little bit of head coaching experience, they kind of know what to expect their second time around, and they could be a little bit more demanding if they know the art of negotiating. I don't know if they have an agent or anything to that nature. But when you look at everything that's lining up, the Panthers will be led by Mr. Tremaine Jackson, forgive me, and be very interesting to see exactly how they gather around, being behind the eight ball as far as recruiting is concerned. See how the alum would respond to this particular deal. But once again, as I've been stating time after time, it doesn't really matter who the head coach is if we don't have some things lined up to ensure success from every angle. I'm talking from administrative angle. Okay, you've got to be able to allow the coaches to coach, let them pick their own staff. And there's so many strings attached in some of our decision making. Well, yeah, we're going to hire you, but you want to keep XYZ coach on board with you. And I get it, but sometimes that can be detrimental to the person in charge because they might feel like there's a person spying on them. They might feel like that they can't really be free to say or do what's necessary to do the things to turn the program around. So we know that the Panthers are coming off a 5-7 season. We know that there's a mode of urgency running around the hill. So we'll see exactly what and how they'll allow Coach Jackson to line up and be, fully in control. And when I say in control, decision making of who you want on your coaching staff, not who they say you should have, your strength and conditioning coach, and even to the point of scheduling your games, because I think it's very, very unfair to have a coach of any caliber. We're talking about football right now, have to play the games that they have no part of negotiating and scheduling who they're going to play. Because let's be honest, they should have a part of it because it's their livelihoods on the line. If they are not successful as the powers that be think they should be, then guess who's out the door? So it's very, very, very intriguing to see how things will actually be run. Don't know exactly when they'll have the press conference set up to introduce them officially to Panther Nation. But one thing we can assure is that Tremaine Jackson will be leading the way for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. It'll be very interesting to see how that staff is going to look. Because, like I say, he's not a stranger to the conference. There are going to be a lot of opportunities to build a staff, and he more than likely is going to have a couple of his guys come with him from it's called Valdeso or something, whatever it was called in Georgia, a little school out of Georgia, D2, and like I said, been on a strong run last 3 or 4 seasons, and so we're excited to see what the end is going to be for the new look Panthers. And of course, we'll give you everything along the way right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We got a lot of changes coming up for this 2025 campaign. Going to be doing a lot of things, as you see in here, through the YouTube Live portal. We're still going to be uh, basically audio/radio content because that's what we do. But we are going to have a lot of different angles of how we're coming in. So be sure to join us for the journey for 2025. You can always visit our website at obnradio.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, and all you have to do is click that bell notification every time something goes up, and you'll get a chance to get, as they say, front center of what's going on here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. A way that you guys can help us is to like these videos, share these videos, and know what we're doing and how we're trying to get it done here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Don't forget our weekly schedule that's coming up. We'll hear from Coach North and Coach Pettaway, Ben and Jack. We'll hear from other special guests we're trying to get lined up. Some new programming noting of the Saturday edition. We're now calling it the Sports Portal. So that'll be available by way of YouTube, 9 a.m. Central Time on Saturday mornings. We're also going to be releasing what we call it the Faith Portal. And the Faith Portal will be the combinations of our Tuesday, Thursday Bible studies in addition to our Sunday morning sermon. So we got a full gamut of opportunity and program here for you at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys so much for being a part of our daily journey. And we know without you, we definitely could not get it done. And want to keep you guys encouraged and remind you that all things do eventually work out. Now, I will say it didn't take 90 days, it didn't take 60 days, just a shade under a month to have the new coach lined up. And I do understand. And let me say this too: one of the worst kept secrets, you know, um, I reached out to the powers that be, and I understand they're going to hold a thing to the vest. But once you know enough people and get things laid down, it's coming. But we respect their privacy, and we said, okay, no problem. You all do what you got to do, and we'll just wait patiently. So we know that the story broke late Saturday. We had some information and pretty much confirmation on Thursday, Friday. Reached out, made a couple of calls. Um, uh, People kind of like, well, how they know this? But you don't want to bust nobody's bubble, and you just say, okay, you have what you have, and we'll get what you get. But that's what we have right now. Tremaine Jackson, and for those who are being funny, not Jermaine Jackson, but Tremaine Jackson, will be leading the way for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. What do you guys think about these playoff games going along right now? They are some blowouts, but that was to be expected. And because of that, you get ready to go to the next round. Some are now saying that Indiana was not worthy of being ahead of some Alabamas and all that. Well, when you get 3 losses, guess what? You got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. And it ain't nobody else's fault but your own. Because when you lose and struggle to teams that you've traditionally handed their hats to them, it's the sign of a change. And guess what? We got the sign of the change. And speaking of that sign of the change, Prairie View. Bringing it on in with Tremaine Jackson to see what the end is going to be here in Texas, somewhat coming back home. As a matter of fact, I failed to mention, uh, Tremaine Jackson was born in Houston. Like I said, we did spend some time at Texas Southern, and everything else appears to be pointing toward home. But I do want PV Nation and other supporters to know and understand that just because you got a coach with some Texas ties does not mean that it's going to be automatic inside lane of getting to be on board. When we look at the truth and the proof, that we got a lot of options other than Prairie View that these guys will be wanting to stick their toe in the water on to see uh, if there's a fit for them. We know that Prairie View is a great place to get an education. Prairie View is a great place to play out your athletic. But when the dust settles, you can only bring people here who want to be here. And the reality is, in NIL, say there is a comparison. There is no comparison. We're going to be behind the eight ball. We're going to have some uphill battles of getting and keeping bona fide certified players because everybody's looking for the bag right now. Regardless of the size of that bag, everybody wants that bag. And so, how do we overcome that? How do we offset that? One thing that we can do, and I'm talking about as PV Nation, we can help make a difference by attending these games. We can help making a difference by buying season passes. We can help make a difference by making donate directly to the athletic department or directly to the team of your preference, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, softball, whatever sport you feel led to want to support, then by all means, we've got to do that. But the old saying is charity begins at home, and we are not taking care of everything that we could take care of at home. We can't keep putting it off on administration. Even though our administration got a lot to do with it, some of the backdoor decisions that people will never see come to surface. Gotta have a better approach, a better game plan, and just better execution. A lot of things that need to be changed, hopefully, will get changed, and to make it better for all involved. Let's be honest. When you have a few key donors, and it's not just at Prairie View, that's even on the big boy circuit. Though their key donors just happen to have deep pockets. And so when you look at the opportunities that lie ahead, we got to pull everything together to make sure it happens. But we'll talk about those things down the road. Want to welcome again Tremaine Jackson, head football coach of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, to the Hill. And as they say, we keep right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics, doing our thing like we know we can, while we can, how we can, from sun up to sun down. Speaking of sun down, I think I'm getting to the point to where I must site b.com. Go through the website. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, X. We call it Twitter still. Everybody calls it Twitter. But you can follow me at the Mike Prince Show. It's the Mike Prince Show on Twitter, X. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open